Real African stories and real African experiences. This is the Legally Clueless video series. And in this episode, Sue shares about catching someone stealing her watch designs.
Hi, my name is Sue, founder and CEO Sued Watches. Well, I don't have one right now, but it's in my blood. Let's say that. So I started Sued in 2017, but I had started before that because I started selling watches in campus. And how I started is interesting because the first watch I ever sold was to a friend during a Bible study. I think I was in third year. So they saw my watch and they were like, I like your watch. I'm like, thank you. They're like, no, actually, I would want a watch like yours. I'm like, well, I don't sell watches, but I know where I got this one. So maybe I can sell you this one. If you have the money here now, then I'll go get myself another of the same. They're like, I don't have the money. But in the same Bible study, there's a friend of ours who had money. Like now, I think, how much was I selling that watch for? Like 1,000 bob? Yeah, like 1,000 bob. So I was like, if you have the money now, I give you the watch, and then we will just now go ahead and I'll replace it, etc, etc. So the person who had the money was like, actually, bro, I'm not buying the watch for you. I'm buying the watch for me. So now the actual person who had inquired didn't have a watch. You get? So there's demand, which is very important in business. So it's like, okay. When I'm buying the watch for you and for me. And as a matter of fact, I could actually even buy another one just in case someone else decides to buy my watch, then I can just sell them one. So I sold that one, then I got him the other one. A friend of a friend told a friend. Literally, the business just started evil. Yeah, so nikaanza kuuza watches when I was in campus, and then it picked up really well because I remember there's even a time when there was like events during campus and I was like, can I get a stand? I got a stand. I used to go door to door in hostels. So it's a thing that I've had in me for long because interestingly, even my grandmas, one of them is called Masa, the other one is called Sa. So ideally I would be called Susan Sa Nzoka, but my mom was cool enough to call me Susan Moeni Nzoka, but I still pursued watches, so I wish I got the surname, Yeah, but like, it's been in my blood a lot, I feel. So yeah, I started then in 2017 when officially I thought of Sued. It's because I got an opportunity to pitch my business, and I've always thought of starting like in that moment, I thought of starting something because I love African fashion, like Ankara, just the African culture, etc. So it's like, how can I start a unique thing then? How about I go in with an African cultural and the art of time collaborated like timepiece. So I pitched my idea, got funding, so that's how Sued was born. So yeah, that's back in 2017, October. So I didn't know where to start, like when you're starting a business, I think the biggest thing why people don't start is because you don't know where to start. But I already started, but now it's like, I'm going to be selling people watches written Sued. First of all, who wants to get sued? No one wants to be sued by the court. So maybe what if my clients don't get not the joke, it's not even a joke, being sued is not a joke. The controversial, cool aspect of the name, because my name is Sue. So the action of me creating then is Sued. Get it? So I went with the name regardless. I felt like the watches are going to be beautiful. So even though you don't buy into the name, then maybe you'll buy into the beauty of the watch. But people actually picked it up well. And so my first piece was the big one. Like, again, it's in my blood. Guys, you can't see it, but like, it's somewhere between here and here. I can feel it. So, like, it's a big one. The super big one is what I started with. And I just walked into Masai Market. I met a woman I already knew because I used to buy, like, their chains, the dangling things. So I just met with her and I told her, I want you to do, I had already like sketched in like the plain paper. I'm like, this is how this is gonna look. I'm gonna bring you the piece of leather, then you're gonna do this. But I think it's a thing where people want to stick with what you know. If you go and tell someone, I know you love this phone, but you can turn it into a like, I don't know, like a space device, they still wouldn't want it because they want to remain with what they know. So I told her, she's like, hi, apana, nini. So it wasn't as easy to, I thought they would flow with it because as excited I was, I thought they would be excited. They weren't. So she did it. Now I have a beaded piece of leather. Yeah? But I need to unganisha the watch and the thing. And now this is where actually my story starts, guys. So it was a lot of just looking for the right people to carry now my idea, which is very valuable to me because it's something that is special to me. It's like my baby. So I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I decided, okay, let's go to Career Call. We go to Career Call. I'm like, I'm just gonna be walking around Career Call. I'm a hustler. Like, there is no street in town I don't know. River Road now, as in, I will take you anywhere. So like, I knew, you know, the way you go and you find their brokers, but if you don't know Career Call, if you go na West Mjanja, utauziwa kitu inauza 200 bob for like, because they're middlemen. And even when they go to the store of the owner of the store, they already know he's a broker. So they will let him play the role of, it's like he owns the shop. So it's like, apana, ata wakijaribu, you can't. You know, me ni hardcore. So I walked, looking for now someone maybe who's doing bracelets that look like what I'm trying to create. Then that way it will be very easy for me to now pitch and draw them to what I'm driving at. So I went and I met this guy. This guy, we're gonna call him Guy X. I don't even want to give him a name because the drama that followed, like literally, guy. Aya, acha kwanza tu nini. Let's just build it. Let's build this. So like, I told him, okay, hi, mambo poa, naitwa Susan, you know, nauza kasa, and nataka unitengenezee saa inakaa hivi. Actually, I already have my beadwork and the watch. So easy for you, I'll just direct you on what to do. He's like, uko sure? You know, the way you show someone and clearly they don't even know. If you left them with those two things, they wouldn't know what to do. So that means I'm the one who's teaching you how to do this. So this is my idea. And yeah, so he did it. And then hata venye ilifanyika, he's like, very beautiful. Like, how did you think of this? Nini. Nikamwambia sasa nafanyanga hizi vitu. Now that I've seen you do a lot of beaded stuff, then maybe we can just like now work together. I give you your cut. You make for me stuff. I come with my designs. We do it. So he's like, ni sawa. You know, the way wanakubali too, because trust me, the difference between someone who is actually building a business and someone who is here to make quick money is, if a business is pitched to me right now, if someone comes and tells me, Sue, I want to franchise your business to make something else, I would really think a lot on it because it affects the trajectory of my business 10 years to come. You understand? But if it's someone who is quick to just make money, they'll be like, letter, wakelea jina, let's go. As in, you get, and it was exactly like that. So I think that should have been my first red flag. But no, I'm just greening entrepreneurship. I'm here thinking, everyone is nice. Tunajenga nchi, you know. Just going around trusting everyone with my ideas. Because even now, thinking of it, it's even the first person who did the first beadwork, we didn't quite go through the process of you can't replicate this for anyone else, you know. And so you just trusting people and believing that they mean well as you mean well. So the guy started doing the thing. I was like, bring more. At first, he didn't even let me into his like beaders space because you see he had beaders. I didn't have beaders. So sometimes I would just send him the design. I'm like, ongea na mtu mmoja wako aifanye, then akifanya poa, we can keep doing it. So you see, it's like, it's my idea, but I have a middleman, first of all, to the people who actually produce the stuff. So I don't have much control on quality or whether it's reproduced or whatever. So tukaendelea hivyo, but it became frustrating because now my business is growing. We're already in 2018. People have loved it. They're like, this is very authentic, original. Love it, love it. People are buying. So more orders means your turnover needs to be faster. So bado tunavutana because again, those people, they don't know customer service. They don't know, there's no much of structure. Nilikwambia nitakushonea, we ngoja. Like, I need timelines because my client needs timelines. This guy does not have timelines. So already tulikuwa tushaanza there was like some friction, like, no, you're not prioritizing my work, you just do this and that and that. So he's like, unajua kwanza kuna siku moja he was like, you know what, msichana ulinipata hapa nikifanya kazi yangu, enda ujishone. Hey, I was just thrown back. I'm like, this guy is treating me like, but I'm making you money, so I don't see how. I'm just trying to look for a better way to do things. Again, people just want to stay where they are, and that's what separates you between if you're gonna really grow your business or if you're gonna continue just circulating in the same place. So he's like, enda ujishone. Again, nikaenda nikambembeleza. I was a nice person. I'm still a nice person, but now I have like my own rules, and if you can't meet them, okay, bye. So yeah, he's like, enda ujishone. Nikaenda tena nikambembeleza, nikamwambia aki sawa, pole, but tujaribu tuharakishe. So he made it, and for a minute we went. So I think around May 2018, it's like now where even people who are walking around can see a Sood watch and know it's Sood. If you're active on social media, you'd know, this is a Sood watch. Sawa. So now that's where the Kenyan creative space, by the way, is one that even how people have survived in it for long is still, like if you've held on for long, then big up to you, because I feel like people really just steal people's ideas, no credit, and just you go with it. And it is cool. No, you did not discover beads. I'm like, yes, I did, but I'm the one who put them on a watch. And I decided to capitalize on that. Yeah? There are so many other things out here that there's nothing new in this world, yes, I admit. But if I innovate it, then give me the credits for coming up with the innovation, So I was just walking now in Kariako. Hey, natembea. And I'm like, there's a client of mine who wants this and that and that. I hadn't even called. Usually I would call the guy. I'm like, nakuja saa 4, nakuja vitu zangu. Ama nakuja saa 4, I have an order. I always call them before I showed up. This one day, I didn't call them. I was like, we used to live in Buru then, before I even moved out of my aunt's house. Nikapitia Isili, I'm like, I'm headed to Tao. Mat ilikuwa ina Hepa Jam, so no Jogo Road, let's go backwards to Isili. Kasiriako is just there. I'm like, nishukishe hapa. I can start backwards with my errands and go on. So I just showed up. I show up and the guy is holding one of the cuff watches that looks like mine. And I'm like, sikuwa nimeplace order ya hii watch. Na haina a Sood watch. Nikamuliza hii ni ya nani? Akaniambia hii ni ya customer mwingine. Hii ni ya customer mwingine ameniambia nimtengenezee. So it was, I think there were even 3. There was the black and white one and some other one that I really loved. Like, and I was so attached. Like, gosh, nikamuliza apana visit, and and I'm very vocal. Like, guys, if you're looking for an activist, come to me. I will. Kama ni kuteta, me, my voice is always, mpaka I'm practicing to don't shout. So like, I'm making a commotion. I'm like, no, this is my work. Mimi ndo nilikupa hii idea. If I didn't come here, you never used to do watches. All of a sudden now you're doing watches. You're doing it for someone else. You didn't even ask for permission. Hey, that guy was like, no, hapa ni biashara yangu. Niko hapa kutengeneza pesa. If this is what is going to give me money, this is it. Na hizi saa zimekuanga huko. Do you remember how this guy was so mesmerized by my idea in the beginning, but now it's hizi stars zimekuwa huku, Wamasai wamekuwa wakivaa. You know, it went on and on. I started crying. I think even the guys who are next to now his store, so that actually this girl is really going through it. I'm like, apana nini. I even wanted to take their watches and go with them. I just started walking away. And I remember I left Kariako Market. And in my head, I was like, no, I'm not coming back here. I need to now look for my own space where I know only my watches are being done and they're being done properly. Like, you know, yours even looks shoddy. If someone else sees it, they will think it's mine, and that discredits my business. So like, can we get some quality control going on? Can I get my own car workshop? And imagine that's when like, I really wanted to get my own space. But let's go back to in that moment. Sasa, nikaanza kulia. I walked out, nikapanda mat, I was still crying. There's even a lady who was next to me. She probably thought my boyfriend has left me. Which boyfriend? Nothing about boyfriend. It's just, trust me, when you've started a business, it's very close to your heart. You feel like, this is my own child. Like, it broke my heart in a way that hata sikuelewa. Nikafika town, I took a double M to Buru. I was still crying. I called my boyfriend then. I was like, wacha kulia. He was still like, you know, people don't really understand the weight of when something is taken away from you, when it's actually very special to you in terms of like business, like a design or something. Because we're like, oh, when someone copies you, it's flattering. That means you're doing something. I'm like, hello, I was doing something already. If you really are waiting for people to copy me, for you to credit me for what I'm doing, then it will go away. Like, do you really need someone to copy me for you to tell me I'm doing something? Like, why are you now saying I'm doing something because someone else is? No, I don't need someone to copy my work for me to be doing something. I'm doing something, I'm doing it, respect it. So I was just crying. I went home, I slept. I felt like, no, this sleeping is not helping me. And I remember, shout out to Michelle Talami. She was a mentor in Blaze. I was in Blaze in 2017, the pioneering first team. So she was a mentor then. Then I remember I just went to Instagram DM. It was the first time I was ever reaching out to her, and I was like, I'm just gonna type my frustrations, and then if she sees the DM, you know, you guys have many followers, maybe the DMs are just like popping. You might not see mine. I'm just like, I'll shoot my shot. So I DM'd her. I'm like, hi, Michelle. So this just actually happened to me right now. I went and I found that the guy who does my stuff was doing the same stuff for someone else, etc. I'm just here crying. I don't know what I can do, you know? And I really am glad that I took my shot, because Michelle actually sent me an audio. She's like, I'm very sorry. This happens a lot to us. You know, this and this also happened to me. So just take a moment, breathe. And in the meantime, here's a number of a guy that works in Kipi and is it Kekobo? The people who protect now like your industrial designs and stuff. Call him and tell him that Michelle sent you, book an appointment, go see him. I know he will help you. And I think for me, that's where like, actually, now I got to understand. You see how if I started and I knew all those things in the beginning, you know, it's birth an idea. If you can, it's expensive. That's another thing about the government and how things are here. It's expensive. You really want to protect your work. If already, you know, most entrepreneurs are like, I want capital. Let's start with just capital. But now here you have to pay for like protecting your idea and stuff. So as you go, you need to protect your work. So I went, and imagine, I go there and I realize like my first uncle, like the brother to my father, actually even works in the damn company. I'm like, yani mimi nikona an inner person. And I didn't even know until my heart was broken. So I think in that very moment is when I realized you actually need to separate. I think that's something I've been learning, your emotions and business. You get, when I got to that man and I started crying, and it's something that even my boyfriend told me then now, back in 2018. He told me, when you umetoka hapo ukilia, this person already knows you're weak. Yeah? You're weak, so they know, huyu atalia tu, and then atacha kulia. You understand? As opposed to if you actually said, this is what I actually feel right now, and I'm really frustrated. But now that I am here with you, how can I take this conversation in a way that at the time I'm leaving this place, we are halfway to a solution? You see how I left it? I just left crying. I didn't tell him, don't stop. I didn't tell him, sikumwonyesha, you know, how this has affected my business, and this is how moving on from here, this is gonna go. Understand? So I think I really learned a lot on separating your emotions and your business, because also it's not like it's the last time my work has been copied. Back in 2020, we're in a panoramic pandemic, whatever. We're in that thing. Business is doing badly. And still, some lady comes and she copies my work. And I'm telling my clients, guys, there's a duped version of this, the watches, so beware. Like, just educating my clients. And the lady decides, no, you are cyberbullying me. AKA, I'm taking you to DCI. And she goes and takes me to DCI. I'm like, the audacity on these streets. Please. Will I go to DCI and start crying? No. At least I had learned my lesson back in 2018. And that's why I actually think it's bad and good that it happened to me then, because I feel like I am more, like I'm ready. I'm now legally solving things where then there are actual legal ways to go about this. I won't even come and start crying at your place, but you can't just disrespect my work, you understand? So I think I think, gosh, entrepreneurship is one of those things that you will learn as you go. I can even come and transfer all the knowledge I have in my mind, but it's never the same for each person. You will still have to have your own lessons that you take away from. But yeah, from now on, I think even I've just decided it's cool. Like, you just follow your, like, what I do nowadays is what? I just block that energy and keep creating. Because essentially that means you're leading, the guys are here copying. So you just need to keep being in a safe space where then don't engage with them, block them, don't see their stuff. If your friends are the ones who keep telling you, I came across this, you're like, don't tell me. Just tell that person that they're doing wrong to copy someone, but don't send it to the person who is being copied, because then you're affecting their creative space. And we're just trying to be focused over here, creating in the way that you always stay ahead of them. And by the time they will never catch up really though, because that means you're not creative. Yeah, so let the creator just keep going, but protect your work. If you can, please protect your work. And I think I'm done.
Thanks for watching this episode. Remember, you can catch new Legally Clueless video episodes every Friday and new audio episodes every Monday.